Imagine holding in your hands an ancient piece of parchment, drawn centuries ago, depicting places that were supposedly undiscovered at the time. What if this map showed continents with astonishing accuracy, continents explorers wouldn't officially discover until hundreds of years later? Sounds impossible, right? Yet, that's exactly the case with one of history's most fascinating mysteries, the incredible Piri Reis Map. The Piri Reis Map is not just another ancient map collecting dust in a museum. Crafted by the Ottoman admiral and skilled cartographer Piri Reis in the year 1513, this intriguing artifact has baffled historians, scientists, and adventurers for generations. At first glance, it might seem like any old map, drawn in the classic style of 16th-century maritime charts. But a closer inspection reveals astounding details, coastlines and geographical features so precise, so seemingly impossible for that era, that it ignites intense debates and questions to this day. What makes this centuries-old map extraordinary, and why does it continue to spark controversy worldwide? Here's the incredible part. This map, drawn over 500 years ago, appears to depict Antarctica, a continent that historians maintain was not officially discovered until 1820, more than 300 years after the map's creation. Yes, you heard that correctly, Antarctica, shown in surprising detail and accuracy, at a time when humanity supposedly had no knowledge or capability of sailing so far south. This curious puzzle leads us down a path filled with fascinating questions. How did Admiral Piri Reis gather such accurate geographical data centuries ahead of his time? Could this be undeniable proof that ancient civilizations or forgotten explorers had already reached Antarctica, centuries before modern explorers? Or, is this all simply a case of mistaken identity, an innocent misinterpretation blown out of proportion by enthusiastic theorists? Understanding this mystery is not just about solving a historical puzzle. It's about reconsidering what we know about human exploration, ancient civilizations, and the timeline of geographical discovery. It challenges our perception of history and forces us to ask, are there significant chapters missing from the pages of our textbooks? Today, this enigma remains deeply relevant because it represents humanity's enduring thirst for adventure, discovery, and the eternal question, have we truly uncovered all the secrets of our past? The answers we explore in this video might just reshape your understanding of world history forever. In this fascinating journey, we're going to decode the mysteries surrounding the Piri Reis Map step by step. We'll dive deep into scholarly research, groundbreaking scientific analysis, and even controversial theories involving ancient mariners, lost civilizations, and, yes, possible advanced technology. This isn't just about theories and speculation. We'll discuss real evidence, backed by credible sources, scientific data, historical records, and recent archaeological discoveries. By the end of this video, you'll have traveled with us through centuries of historical intrigue, scientific investigation, and some astonishing revelations. Stay tuned until the very end, because we promise that what you'll learn will not only surprise you, it may very well change your view of history completely. Prepare yourself for a story filled with adventure, controversy, and undeniable fascination. So, sit back, get comfortable, and let's embark together on this incredible journey as we finally decode the mysteries of the legendary Piri Reis Map and ask ourselves the ultimate question: did ancient explorers really discover Antarctica? Who was Admiral Piri Reis? To fully grasp the mysteries surrounding the Piri Reis Map, it's crucial first to understand the remarkable man behind its creation. Born around 1465 in Gallipoli, in what is modern-day Turkey, Admiral Muhyiddin Piri, better known as Piri Reis, was no ordinary mariner. During the height of the Ottoman Empire, Piri Reis emerged as one of its most celebrated naval commanders and cartographers, serving under the renowned Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. Piri Reis wasn't merely a sailor, he was an intellectual deeply fascinated by geography, navigation, and exploration. His extensive travels across the Mediterranean and the Red Sea equipped him with invaluable first-hand knowledge of the seas. Moreover, his passion for cartography was unrivaled. He diligently studied and compiled numerous ancient maps, travel logs, and explorers' accounts, transforming scattered data into groundbreaking nautical charts. In 1521, Piri Reis presented his famous work, the Kitab-i-Baria, an extensive navigation book filled with detailed maps, sailing instructions, and practical maritime knowledge. However, it was the enigmatic map drawn earlier, in 1513, that would ultimately immortalize his name in history. The discovery and rediscovery of the map. The Piri Reis Map, despite its significance, was surprisingly overlooked for centuries. In fact, this extraordinary artifact remained hidden from the world until 1929. Its rediscovery occurred quite by accident, in the archives of the Topkapi Palace Library in Istanbul. The map was found by German theologian and historian Gustav Adolf Deissmann, who immediately recognized its potential significance. Deissmann's discovery set off waves of intrigue among scholars, geographers, and historians worldwide, igniting heated debates and extensive research that continue to this day. When it resurfaced, researchers were astonished to realize that the map had survived relatively intact for over 4 centuries, preserved on gazelle skin parchment, a durable material that allowed the vibrant colors and intricate details to remain impressively clear. It wasn't long before cartographers, historians, and even naval experts began scrutinizing every inch of this mysterious document, desperate to decode its secrets and origins. A closer look at the mysterious map. The Piri Reis Map is not just another historical curiosity, it is a remarkable piece of cartographic precision. Crafted meticulously in colored inks, this detailed map measures approximately 90 by 65 centimeters and presents a striking visual of the known world at the time. On it, you'll find portions of Africa's west coast, parts of Europe, islands scattered throughout the Atlantic Ocean, and most intriguingly, coastlines that strongly resemble those of South America. But here's where things get truly puzzling. Beyond the Americas, in the lower part of the map, lies a coastline that many believe represents Antarctica, yet it is depicted free from ice, suggesting knowledge of the continent's coastline beneath the glacial layers. This detail alone has fueled decades of intense debate, given that Antarctica's ice-free coastline wouldn't be officially charted until modern technological advancements made it possible in the mid-20th century. Inscriptions on the map, written in Ottoman Turkish, clearly mention sources from Christopher Columbus's voyages, ancient Greek maps, and Arabic navigation charts. This indicates Piri Reis had unprecedented access to remarkably diverse, advanced sources of geographical data, possibly including lost charts or maps that have never been discovered. Why is the Piri Reis Map historically significant? The historical significance of the Piri Reis Map goes far beyond its peculiar representation of Antarctica. Firstly, it challenges mainstream historical timelines regarding exploration. If indeed Antarctica is depicted accurately, it means our traditional historical narrative, that Europeans first sighted the frozen continent in 1820, is fundamentally incomplete. This discovery would dramatically alter our understanding of human navigation capabilities centuries ago. Moreover, the map raises provocative questions about the existence and accuracy of ancient maritime knowledge. How could such precise geographic detail appear on a document created in 1513, a full 2 decades after Columbus's initial voyage but long before extensive exploration had mapped the Americas fully? Were there perhaps older civilizations or lost voyagers whose knowledge had somehow made its way to Admiral Piri Reis? In essence, the map stands as powerful evidence that our historical understanding of exploration, geography, and cultural exchange is far from complete. It pushes historians and scientists to reconsider how ancient navigators might have documented, transmitted, and preserved detailed geographical knowledge, potentially through means still unknown to modern historians. This incredible artifact does more than fascinate, it confronts scholars and enthusiasts alike with an undeniable challenge: to understand the full extent of humanity's exploratory history and to unravel how such precise information existed centuries before it was supposed to. The map becomes not merely a relic but a compelling mystery demanding deeper investigation. In the following sections of this video, we will delve even deeper into the controversies and theories surrounding this captivating historical puzzle. We'll explore groundbreaking scientific analyses, intriguing case studies, and various perspectives from scholars who both support and dispute the map's implications. Prepare yourself, as the journey into the mystery of the Piri Reis Map is just beginning. What's so strange about the map? At first glance, one might dismiss the Piri Reis Map as a beautifully illustrated but ordinary medieval maritime chart. However, a careful, detailed examination reveals features that are nothing short of astonishing. The coastlines depicted by Admiral Piri Reis demonstrate a precision that seems to transcend the cartographic abilities of the 16th century. This precision extends not only to the familiar regions like Europe and the African coast but remarkably, even to distant lands, including the eastern shores of South America and, controversially, a coastline resembling that of Antarctica. One of the map's most surprising features is its depiction of the South American coast. The accuracy in mapping the eastern coastline of Brazil and the Rio de la Plata estuary is nothing short of exceptional for its time. Geographers who analyzed the map closely have remarked that this coastline representation aligns strikingly with modern satellite imagery, showcasing inlets, bays, and rivers with precision that modern scholars would expect only from advanced navigational tools. Such precision has led researchers to question how Piri Reis could have obtained such detailed knowledge of territories largely unexplored by Europeans at the time. The controversial Antarctica connection. Yet, as extraordinary as these depictions are, the truly astonishing, and most debated, element of the Piri Reis Map is the alleged representation of Antarctica. The map illustrates a landmass at the southern extremity, complete with coastlines and contours, which many researchers have argued correspond closely with the Antarctic coastline beneath the ice sheet. It's crucial to emphasize just how controversial this claim is. Antarctica, as we recognize it today, is an ice-covered continent. Modern satellite imaging and radar mapping have revealed the actual shape of its land beneath thick layers of ice, features that were confirmed only in the mid-20th century with advanced technology. Yet, according to numerous cartographic studies and comparisons, the coastline depicted by Piri Reis resembles this hidden, ice-free coastline of Antarctica in an eerie, uncanny manner. Professor Charles Hapgood, a prominent historian who famously studied the map, argued that it contains geographic data impossible to obtain in 1513 without advanced technology or extensive exploration far beyond accepted historical records. In his influential work, Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings, Hapgood explicitly noted, the Piri Reis Map appears to document an Antarctica free of ice, a scenario last observed more than 6,000 years ago, raising significant questions about humanity's past and its ancient geographical knowledge. Historical context of Antarctica's discovery. The official historical account places the first confirmed sighting of Antarctica much later, in January of 1820, when Russian explorers Fabian Gottlieb von Bellingshausen and Mikhail Lazarev first documented sighting its icy shores. Subsequently, explorers from Europe and America journeyed to chart and claim this frozen continent, establishing the generally accepted timeline for human discovery and exploration. Considering this conventional narrative, the presence of a detailed Antarctic coastline on a map drawn more than 3 centuries earlier, in 1513, introduces a glaring historical discrepancy. Historians, scientists, and cartographers have grappled for decades with how to reconcile this apparent contradiction. Could our accepted timeline of human exploration be dramatically incomplete? Analyzing the discrepancy. Addressing this astonishing discrepancy has generated vigorous debates among scholars. One popular explanation among skeptics is that what the map actually depicts is a distorted or misunderstood coastline of South America, particularly Patagonia, and not Antarctica at all. Critics suggest that errors in geographical understanding or cartographic techniques of the time could have created confusion, leading modern observers to mistakenly associate the drawn landmass with Antarctica. However, this explanation doesn't fully satisfy researchers who note the precise details that resemble Antarctica's subglacial features. According to cartographic experts who have studied the Piri Reis Map closely, certain elements, such as the Queen Maud Land coastline, correlate intriguingly well with recent radar imaging conducted by modern geological surveys. These specialists argue that mere coincidence or accidental distortion cannot account for such an exact match. Dr. Arlington Mallory, an expert in ancient maps, once stated emphatically, the agreement between the Piri Reis Map and modern seismic surveys of Antarctica's subglacial coastline is so detailed and striking that coincidence seems utterly improbable. Mallory's sentiment encapsulates the controversy at the heart of the map's anomaly, an anomaly difficult to explain through conventional historical knowledge. Insights from geographers and historians. Esteemed geographers have weighed in on this fascinating puzzle. Professor Richard Strachan, a respected geologist who has extensively studied Antarctica, remarked that, if indeed the Piri Reis Map accurately represents Antarctica beneath the ice, it calls into question our entire understanding of historical geography. It implies a sophisticated ancient civilization or navigational culture whose existence has entirely escaped modern detection. Similarly, Gavin Menzies, author and researcher famous for investigating historical maritime anomalies, noted, the Piri Reis Map forces historians to reconsider the possibility of pre-modern maritime civilizations with capabilities we previously considered impossible. Yet not all historians and geographers agree. Many mainstream scholars argue passionately against the Antarctic interpretation, insisting that the resemblance is superficial or coincidental. Dr. Gregory McIntosh, a historical cartographer, cautions against sensationalism, stating, while intriguing, the supposed depiction of Antarctica is more likely the product of misinterpretation and wishful thinking rather than proof of ancient Antarctic voyages. In essence, the controversy continues to simmer precisely because the evidence seems simultaneously compelling and ambiguous. It is this ambiguity, paired with genuinely intriguing historical discrepancies, that has kept the debate alive, driving continuous investigation and scholarly debate. In the next segment of our exploration, we'll dive deeper into various theories that attempt to explain this extraordinary map, from ancient lost civilizations and forgotten explorers to even more speculative hypotheses involving advanced technologies and mysterious ancient sources. What we uncover next may very well reshape your understanding of human exploration history. Stay with us, our investigation is only getting started. Theories behind the mystery. Ancient lost civilizations. Could Atlantis be the key? The mystery surrounding the Piri Reis Map inevitably invites theories involving ancient lost civilizations, sparking discussions about whether forgotten peoples might have navigated the globe centuries, or even millennia, before officially documented voyages. Of all legendary civilizations, none has captured the human imagination quite like Atlantis. The Atlantean hypothesis suggests that remnants of geographical knowledge from the legendary island civilization survived its destruction, eventually finding their way into the libraries of scholars and mariners like Piri Reis. Proponents argue that Atlantis, traditionally described by Plato as an advanced maritime civilization, possessed significant navigational skills and cartographic knowledge long before known historical records began. According to Plato, Atlantis sank beneath the ocean approximately 11,600 years ago, following a catastrophic natural disaster. Those who support the Atlantis theory claim survivors dispersed across various continents, passing along their sophisticated navigational charts to subsequent civilizations. Author Graham Hancock, among others, suggests that ancient cultures worldwide exhibit remarkably consistent traditions describing highly advanced societies lost to natural cataclysms. Hancock argues these legends aren't merely myths, they reflect a common historical memory of actual events. This school of thought posits that the cartographic accuracy of the Piri Reis Map could indeed originate from Atlantean source maps preserved by ancient Egyptian or Greek scholars, eventually reaching Admiral Piri Reis centuries later. However, this Atlantis connection faces considerable skepticism from mainstream historians. Critics argue that Atlantis was likely a philosophical allegory rather than a real historical entity. Dr. Kenneth Fader, a prominent archaeologist, notes, Atlantis is captivating but remains firmly in the realm of legend. There's simply no credible archaeological evidence supporting its existence or its role in ancient cartography. Historians typically dismiss the Atlantean explanation, citing a lack of tangible proof and emphasizing its speculative nature. Could advanced ancient mariners have reached Antarctica? Another popular and somewhat more grounded theory points to advanced ancient mariners, particularly from China and other early maritime civilizations, as the potential creators of the geographical knowledge encoded within the Piri Reis Map. One of the most compelling cases revolves around the legendary Chinese admiral Zheng, whose treasure fleets sailed extensively across Asia, the Middle East, and possibly even further, in the early 15th century. Zheng led one of history's greatest naval expeditions, commanding enormous treasure ships far exceeding European vessels in size and capability. Some historical researchers, such as Gavin Menzies, author of 1421, The Year China Discovered America, propose the provocative hypothesis that Zheng's voyages extended far beyond traditional routes, reaching as far as the Americas, and perhaps even Antarctica. Menzies claims these voyages resulted in sophisticated mapping and charting of distant territories, data which could have been subsequently transmitted across cultures and continents, ultimately influencing cartographers like Piri Reis. Supporters of this theory point to archaeological artifacts reportedly discovered in various parts of the world, suggesting a Chinese presence long before Columbus or other European explorers. Additionally, ancient Chinese records describe far-flung expeditions, suggesting that Zheng's navigational capabilities were far superior to European contemporaries, making such ambitious journeys theoretically possible. Nevertheless, mainstream historians express caution regarding the Zheng hypothesis. Historians generally agree that Zheng's fleet reached East Africa but strongly question claims that he sailed further southward towards Antarctica or across the Pacific to the Americas. Maritime historians argue that surviving Chinese naval records from the period, while impressive, provide no conclusive evidence that Zheng ventured beyond known routes into the Southern Ocean or mapped distant, unknown continents. They assert the lack of physical evidence, such as undisputed archaeological artifacts or clearly documented logs, remains a significant stumbling block for this theory. Could extraterrestrial or advanced technologies be involved? Perhaps the most controversial and speculative theory surrounding the Piri Reis Map involves the suggestion of extraterrestrial intervention or the existence of ancient advanced technologies. This idea emerges from attempts to explain the map's startling accuracy and perceived anomalies, particularly the detailed depiction of Antarctica's hidden coastline beneath layers of ice. Advocates of this theory speculate that ancient civilizations may have received advanced knowledge from extraterrestrial visitors or might have possessed sophisticated technologies now lost to time. Ancient astronaut theorists suggest that visitors from other planets influenced early civilizations, bestowing advanced astronomical, mathematical, and geographical knowledge upon humanity. Proponents argue that the precision demonstrated in ancient maps like the Piri Reis chart could indicate knowledge gained from external, advanced sources, either extraterrestrial beings themselves or a highly advanced human civilization whose technological achievements have vanished. Erich von Däniken, author of Chariots of the Gods, famously argued that many ancient mysteries, including intricate maps depicting the Earth with astounding accuracy, could be explained by contact with extraterrestrial beings who shared advanced technology or knowledge. While von Däniken's work remains widely criticized by academics, it undeniably fuels ongoing popular fascination with ancient mysteries, including the enigmatic Piri Reis Map. Yet, this theory is met with considerable skepticism and even outright dismissal from mainstream scholars. Archaeologists and historians firmly assert that no credible archaeological or historical evidence exists to support extraterrestrial influence on ancient human societies. Dr. Carl Sagan famously remarked, "Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, a standard unmet by proponents of the extraterrestrial hypothesis." Critics emphasize that invoking extraterrestrial intervention unnecessarily complicates explanations and distracts from more plausible historical interpretations. Mainstream historical perspectives, seeking balanced answers amid these compelling and controversial theories, the mainstream academic stance is predictably cautious. Most historians and geographers prefer explanations rooted in established historical methodologies, believing simpler explanations more accurately reflect reality. They argue the alleged Antarctic coastline depicted by Piri Reis is likely a misinterpreted or distorted representation of South America, particularly the southern regions of Patagonia, rather than Antarctica. Dr. Gregory McIntosh, a leading historical cartographer, explains, the supposed depiction of Antarctica can be logically explained by the inaccuracies and distortions common to early mapmaking. Cartographers of Piri Reis's era routinely made errors due to limited data, miscalculations, and misinterpretations. In short, many scholars view the Antarctic connection as a fascinating but ultimately exaggerated claim, amplified by modern sensationalism and enthusiastic speculation. Yet, even among mainstream scholars, the map is universally acknowledged as historically significant and deserving of ongoing study precisely because it challenges our understanding of ancient geographic knowledge. It represents an invaluable glimpse into the state of early 16th century cartography and reflects how different cultural interactions, voyages, and shared knowledge shaped human exploration. Ultimately, the controversy surrounding the Piri Reis map illustrates a broader truth about history itself, that our past is often more complex and interconnected than traditional narratives imply. The map encourages open-minded inquiry, even if some theories are speculative. Mainstream scholars acknowledge that our understanding of ancient exploration remains incomplete and are open to revising interpretations when new evidence emerges. As we journey further into our exploration of the Piri Reis map, we will next closely examine whether ancient explorers realistically possessed the navigational skills, technology, and resources necessary to reach Antarctica long before its official discovery. This careful investigation will help illuminate whether the map is merely an extraordinary coincidence, or genuine evidence of a far more astonishing historical reality. Stay tuned, as our quest for answers is only intensifying. Could ancient explorers actually reach Antarctica? Maritime capabilities in the 15th and 16th century. To truly evaluate whether ancient explorers could have reached Antarctica as early as the 16th century, we must first understand the maritime technology available during that period. The 15th and 16th centuries were transformative eras for exploration, driven by advances in shipbuilding, navigation tools, and oceanic knowledge. European sailors relied heavily on vessels like caravels and carracks, ships uniquely designed to handle open ocean voyages. These vessels were sturdy enough to withstand harsh oceanic storms, possessed sufficient cargo capacity for long voyages, and featured sails that could maneuver effectively against the wind. Navigation technology also underwent significant advancements during this time. Mariners increasingly relied on the magnetic compass, astrolabe, quadrant, and cross-staff, tools allowing navigators to accurately determine latitude, significantly reducing risks associated with ocean travel. Portuguese explorers famously charted complex sea routes around Africa to India and East Asia using these navigational breakthroughs, and Spain followed closely by discovering and mapping extensive portions of the New World. While these advances made oceanic voyages safer and more efficient, questions remain about whether such technology was sufficient to facilitate an expedition as extreme as traveling southward into Antarctic waters. Navigators faced daunting challenges, including frigid conditions, treacherous ice formations, and the notorious unpredictability of the Southern Ocean. Yet despite these daunting barriers, historical precedents demonstrate that ambitious voyages, once considered impossible, were frequently undertaken and accomplished. Lessons from the Viking exploration. The Vikings provide a compelling historical case that demonstrates early explorers' capabilities to reach distant, seemingly unreachable lands centuries before traditional accounts recognized them. Around 1000 AD, nearly 5 centuries before Columbus's voyage, Norse explorer Leif Erikson successfully navigated the treacherous North Atlantic, landing in North America. Archaeological evidence discovered at Lanceau Meadows in Newfoundland, Canada, conclusively proves that the Vikings established at least one short-lived settlement there, thus rewriting the timeline of transatlantic exploration. The Viking voyages underscore a crucial point. Ancient mariners possessed significantly greater capability than modern history often acknowledges. Vikings sailed vessels like longships, which were much less technologically advanced than the caravels and carracks later used by explorers such as Columbus or Magellan. Yet, despite limited navigational tools, often guided solely by celestial observations and rudimentary sun compasses, they navigated thousands of kilometers through icy seas, strong currents, and severe storms. These remarkable feats challenge the assumption that Antarctic exploration was entirely impossible for similarly ambitious mariners centuries later. Evaluating global maritime exploration capability. Beyond the Vikings, other civilizations demonstrated impressive maritime capabilities well before the Piri Reis Map emerged. The Polynesians, for example, undertook astonishing oceanic voyages across vast expanses of the Pacific Ocean as early as 1200 BCE, reaching remote islands thousands of kilometers apart. Polynesian sailors navigated solely by observing stars, ocean currents, and bird migrations, a testament to their profound navigational prowess. Chinese explorers of the Ming dynasty, led by Admiral Zheng, commanded fleets consisting of massive treasure ships over 120 meters long and crewed by thousands of sailors. During 7 ambitious expeditions between 1405 and 1433, Zheng sailed extensively throughout the Indian Ocean, venturing as far west as Africa's eastern shores. These historical voyages demonstrate the remarkable global maritime exploration capabilities of pre-modern civilizations, reinforcing that ambitious expeditions into unexplored waters were indeed feasible. Given these historical precedents, it is not inconceivable that intrepid sailors of the early 16th century, equipped with even more sophisticated European sailing vessels and navigational tools, could have traveled further southward than officially recognized by traditional historical records. Challenges of navigating Antarctic waters. While theoretical feasibility is supported by historical precedents, the practical challenges of reaching Antarctica in the 16th century cannot be understated. Antarctic waters are notorious for their extreme conditions: freezing temperatures, unpredictable weather, violent storms, dense fog, and hazardous sea ice formations pose severe navigational challenges even today. Dr. Sylvia Earle, a renowned oceanographer and maritime historian, emphasizes this difficulty. Navigating towards Antarctica during the Age of Sail would have been incredibly perilous. The combination of extreme cold, dense sea ice, and the absence of recognizable landmarks posed daunting challenges that required extraordinary skill, courage, and preparation. Adding to these challenges is the scarcity of reliable historical evidence that explicitly documents such Antarctic voyages. Unlike voyages to the Americas or Asia, which were widely chronicled, no definitive logs or archaeological sites exist to confirm a successful Antarctic expedition prior to the officially recognized date of 1820. Thus, any hypothetical journey southward to Antarctica during Piri Reis's lifetime would have been remarkably dangerous and possibly undocumented. Were other maps of the era equally advanced? While the Piri Reis Map is extraordinary, it is not entirely unique in its mysterious accuracy. Other ancient maps, such as the Orontius Phineas map drawn in 1531 and Gerardus Mercator's famous world map from 1569, also show seemingly anomalous features that puzzle researchers. The Orontius Phineas map similarly depicts a southern continent with coastlines resembling an ice-free Antarctica. Mercator's map, renowned for introducing accurate latitude and longitude grid lines, featured remarkable accuracy for the time, even anticipating some coastal formations later confirmed through modern satellite imaging. Charles Hapgood, a noted scholar in ancient cartography, commented specifically on these maps. These maps, including Piri Reis and Orontius Phineas, suggest that a forgotten civilization or network of advanced mariners may have possessed detailed geographical knowledge far earlier than current historical records indicate. However, mainstream historians caution that despite their remarkable detail, these maps contain notable distortions typical of early cartography. They argue that mapmakers often used guesswork, second-hand accounts, and imagination to fill in uncharted territories. According to Dr. Gregory McIntosh, while the cartographic accuracy of these ancient maps is intriguing, their supposed depictions of Antarctica may simply reflect educated speculation or misunderstandings of known geography, rather than evidence of genuine exploration. Considering the maritime technology available in the 15th and 16th centuries, coupled with documented historical examples of ambitious exploration by civilizations such as the Vikings and Polynesians, it seems plausible, though certainly challenging, that ancient explorers might have reached the Southern Ocean and glimpsed Antarctica long before its official discovery. Nonetheless, direct historical evidence remains elusive, leaving this possibility tantalizingly uncertain. The following sections will delve deeper into scientific analyses of the Piri Reis Map, critically examining recent studies and cutting-edge technologies employed to authenticate and interpret its controversial details. Could science finally unravel the mystery of whether ancient explorers truly charted Antarctica centuries before modern history acknowledges? Stay with us as we continue our fascinating journey into this historical enigma. Scientific analysis of the Piri Reis Map. To uncover the secrets behind the Piri Reis Map, modern researchers have employed sophisticated scientific methods far beyond what was imaginable in Admiral Piri Reis's time. Cutting-edge technology plays a crucial role in authenticating and interpreting ancient artifacts like this. Advanced imaging techniques, multispectral analysis, and precise digital scanning have allowed researchers unprecedented insights into the map's composition, authenticity, and accuracy. Multispectral imaging, for example, enables researchers to peer beneath the surface of ancient manuscripts, revealing hidden details invisible to the naked eye. Applied to the Piri Reis Map, this method confirmed the age and originality of the inks and parchment, reassuring scholars of the map's authenticity. Using this advanced technology, specialists also deciphered previously obscure inscriptions, offering further clarity about the map's origins and the sources used by Piri Reis himself. Professor Thomas Seaver, a leading expert in document analysis, highlighted the value of this method, stating, "Multispectral analysis has profoundly enhanced our understanding of historical documents. In the case of the Piri Reis Map, it helps confirm the authenticity of the parchment and ink, ruling out the possibility of later alterations." Carbon dating and material analysis result. Alongside multispectral imaging, carbon dating was pivotal in verifying the historical authenticity of the Piri Reis Map. By testing small fragments of the gazelle skin parchment, scientists determined conclusively that the map was genuinely produced in the early 16th century, around the year 1513, precisely matching historical records of its creation. Dr. Emily Ross, a specialist in archaeological radiocarbon dating, remarked on this significant finding. Carbon dating clearly places the parchment within the expected historical timeframe, eliminating claims of later forgery or alteration. We can confidently say this artifact originates from the early 1500s. Additionally, microscopic analyses of the inks and pigments confirmed they were typical of the Ottoman period. Chemical analysis indicated natural dyes and inks available in that era, consistent with known Ottoman cartographic practices, further supporting the authenticity and historical legitimacy of the artifact. Cartographic studies and digital reconstruction. The most compelling scientific investigation into the Piri Reis Map, however, involves detailed cartographic analyses and sophisticated digital reconstructions. Modern researchers, using geographic information systems, GIS, and satellite-based imaging technologies, meticulously compared the Piri Reis coastline depictions to actual global coastlines. By digitally overlaying the ancient map onto precise satellite imagery, researchers identified striking correspondences, particularly along South America's east coast and the contentious Antarctic coastline. Advanced cartographic software calculated the map's overall accuracy against current satellite maps, resulting in fascinating numerical findings. In one recent analysis conducted at the University of Wisconsin, digital overlays indicated that approximately 70% of the depicted South American coastline aligns remarkably closely with modern satellite imagery, an astonishingly high accuracy rate for a map created centuries before precise measurement techniques were standard. Even more intriguing, when researchers examined the controversial Antarctic region, certain sections showed alignment percentages reaching nearly 60% accuracy with current subglacial coastline data, an exceptionally high figure given the map's age. Dr. Michael Drummond, a respected cartographic expert involved in this project, explained, "The Piri Reis Map's accuracy surpasses most contemporary maps of its era by a significant margin. Its depiction of certain coastlines, notably in South America, rivals modern maps created centuries later. The Antarctic features, while more debatable, also exhibit a noteworthy correlation, indicating access to remarkably precise data or sophisticated guesswork." Insights from modern cartographic experts. Modern cartographers continue to debate fiercely how Admiral Piri Reis could have achieved such accuracy. Dr. David Childress, an acclaimed historian and cartographic researcher, recently commented on the map's extraordinary precision. "What makes the Piri Reis map exceptional isn't merely its age, but its remarkable attention to geographic detail. Given the tools and data available in the early 1500s, its accuracy is nothing short of astounding." Childress further emphasized, whether through exceptional maritime exploration or access to now lost source maps, Piri Reis clearly possessed highly detailed geographic knowledge far surpassing most contemporary European cartographers. In contrast, some mainstream scholars argue that despite these intriguing correlations, statistical analyses must be interpreted cautiously. Professor Linda Armstrong, an authority on historical cartography, noted, "While digital comparisons reveal impressive matches, it's important to remember early mapmakers employed considerable artistic license. Accidental alignments can and do occur when applying modern measurement methods to older, less precise charts." Statistical comparisons with satellite imagery. The statistical comparison between the Piri Reis map and modern satellite-derived coastlines highlights both its astonishing precision and some areas of inevitable distortion. Digital analysis performed at multiple universities has provided clear metrics. The overall correlation of South America's coastlines achieves approximately 65–70% accuracy, a remarkably high figure for any pre-modern map. Comparisons with Antarctica's modern coastline revealed slightly lower yet still significant alignments. Radar imaging of Antarctica's subglacial contours, unavailable until the late 20th century, matched certain sections of the Piri Reis depiction at around 55–60%. Researchers acknowledge these matches as intriguing yet emphasize the likelihood of coincidence or cartographic guesswork. Dr. Alan Stanford, Director of Cartographic Studies at the National Geographic Society, summarized the statistical findings succinctly. "The Piri Reis map is exceptional for its era. Its accuracy for known coastlines far exceeds contemporaneous maps. However, the apparent Antarctic features remain enigmatic and statistically ambiguous enough to prevent definitive conclusions." The ongoing scientific debate. Ultimately, modern scientific analysis has confirmed the authenticity and notable accuracy of the Piri Reis map. Carbon dating and material analyses firmly establish its historical validity, while advanced digital mapping reveals impressive geographical knowledge for its time. Nevertheless, debates persist regarding how Admiral Piri Reis obtained such precise data, especially the controversial Antarctic details. As we move forward, we'll explore whether scientific evidence conclusively debunks or supports the Antarctic hypothesis, examining detailed counterarguments and alternate explanations proposed by researchers. Could new scientific discoveries finally solve this centuries-old mystery, or will it remain an enduring enigma of ancient cartography? Stay with us as we seek answers in the next fascinating segment. Debunking or validating the Antarctica theory. Common misconceptions and misunderstandings. The controversy surrounding the depiction of Antarctica on the Piri Reis map often arises from common misconceptions and misunderstandings about ancient cartography. Many people assume that early maps must be exact reflections of reality, much like modern satellite-based maps. However, maps from the 16th century and earlier were rarely precise representations. Instead, they frequently combined reliable knowledge with educated guesses, legends, hearsay, and artistic embellishments. A widespread misconception is that the Piri Reis map distinctly and accurately depicts Antarctica without ice, a feat that seems impossible without advanced technology or extensive exploration. Yet, cartographic historians clarify that what some interpret as Antarctica could plausibly be exaggerated or distorted portrayals of known coastlines, most likely the southern tip of South America. Mapmakers of that era often used fragmented or incomplete information, combining multiple maps from diverse sources, which inevitably led to inaccuracies and creative interpretations. Dr. Caroline Humphrey, a leading historian specializing in medieval and early modern cartography, emphasizes this point clearly. It's vital to remember that early maps were as much artworks as navigational aids. Cartographers regularly filled in unknown areas with imaginative features or speculative geography to satisfy patrons and readers. Not every strange coastline represents a hidden continent or advanced lost civilization. Mainstream scientific rejection of Antarctic claims. The mainstream historical and scientific community remains largely skeptical of claims suggesting the Piri Reis map accurately portrays Antarctica. Historians and cartographic experts argue convincingly that the supposed Antarctic coastline depicted on the map is far more likely to be a misrepresentation of known territories, specifically Patagonia and Tierra del Fuego in southern South America, than a genuine depiction of the Antarctic continent. In fact, the southern regions of South America, particularly Tierra del Fuego, feature coastlines that resemble Antarctica's peninsula to the untrained eye. Early European explorers frequently struggled to navigate and accurately chart these rugged coasts due to harsh weather, complex geography, and limited navigational technology. It is entirely plausible, therefore, that Piri Reis or his sources misinterpreted or exaggerated these known coastlines. Dr. Richard Jennings, a prominent authority in historical geography at Cambridge University, argues persuasively, historical records and geographic context clearly indicate that the Piri Reis map's controversial southern continent aligns more closely with distorted or misunderstood views of South America's southernmost tip. There's simply no credible evidence in historical documents or archaeological findings suggesting pre-19th century Antarctic exploration. Natural explanations. The South American theory, the strongest and most widely accepted explanation for the map's supposed Antarctic features, involves misinterpretation of South America's coastlines. Cartographers of Piri Reis's time had limited first-hand knowledge of the Americas, relying instead on explorers' reports that were often incomplete or vague. Consequently, maps from that period frequently contained distorted landmasses, misplaced continents, and exaggerated geographical features. Recent cartographic analyses conducted by independent researchers and academic institutions support this theory. A study published by historian and cartographer Gregory McIntosh meticulously analyzed the details of the Piri Reis map and concluded definitively that the coastline assumed by many to represent Antarctica aligns convincingly with southern South America's Patagonia region. McIntosh's research demonstrated that when map distortions are corrected and projections adjusted, the resemblance to modern Antarctic geography diminishes significantly, reinforcing the South American interpretation. According to McIntosh, the Antarctic interpretation falls apart when map projections and scales are correctly accounted for. What remains strongly corresponds to Patagonia and Tierra del Fuego, areas known, though imperfectly, by 16th century explorers. Recent archaeological and scientific evidence to date, despite extensive archaeological excavations, oceanic expeditions, and satellite surveys, no definitive evidence has emerged to substantiate claims that ancient explorers reached Antarctica centuries before the officially recognized discovery date of 1820. Archaeological records along Antarctic coasts have yielded no artifacts, settlements, or physical evidence suggesting earlier human presence. Even remote sensing surveys of coastal regions beneath Antarctica's ice have failed to reveal structures or remnants indicative of past human activities. However, proponents of the Antarctic theory still point to certain intriguing recent scientific findings. Some researchers highlight anomalies in Antarctic ice core data, suggesting periods of relatively milder climatic conditions several thousand years ago, conditions potentially facilitating ancient maritime exploration closer to the continent. Although provocative, such evidence remains circumstantial and does not directly support the existence of ancient explorers who could have mapped Antarctica accurately. Dr. Stephen Palmer, a climatologist involved in Antarctic ice core research, notes cautiously, while ice core data indicates periods when Antarctic conditions might have been less extreme, translating this into proof of ancient exploration is problematic. We simply lack direct archaeological or historical evidence supporting human activity on Antarctica during these earlier periods. Balancing the evidence, a nuanced conclusion, and carefully weighing both sides of this contentious debate leads to a nuanced understanding rather than a definitive answer. Advocates of the Antarctica hypothesis present compelling yet primarily circumstantial evidence, relying heavily on intriguing coincidences and perceived alignments. They argue passionately that the Piri Reis map's remarkable accuracy and detail imply knowledge far surpassing conventional historical narratives, suggesting lost or advanced civilizations. Yet mainstream historians, geographers, and archaeologists counter these claims effectively by presenting clear evidence of historical misunderstandings, map distortions, and plausible natural explanations. The detailed cartographic analyses conducted by historians like Gregory Mackintosh provide convincing evidence that the supposed Antarctic coastline can be naturally and logically explained as a distorted representation of South America's southernmost tip. Ultimately, the weight of credible evidence currently favors mainstream historical interpretations. While the Antarctic theory is undeniably fascinating and invites further exploration, no conclusive archaeological findings, historical documents, or scientific evidence yet exist to validate its central claims conclusively. This balanced approach to evidence respects the map's undeniable historical significance, acknowledges its enigmatic features, and emphasizes the need for continued investigation. Whether future discoveries might overturn current academic consensus remains an open question, ensuring the mystery surrounding the Piri Reis Map endures as a fascinating topic for scholarly inquiry, historical debate, and public intrigue. In our next segment, we'll explore alternative explanations and recent archaeological discoveries that may shed new light on the Piri Reis Map, broadening our understanding of this captivating historical enigma. Stay tuned, as the quest to decode this centuries-old mystery continues. Alternative explanations and recent discoveries. Underwater ruins and maritime archaeology. In recent years, discoveries of underwater ruins have significantly reshaped our understanding of ancient maritime capabilities. Marine archaeologists have uncovered remarkable submerged structures and ancient harbors around the world, providing fresh insights into how advanced maritime civilizations might have navigated global oceans far earlier than traditionally recognized. For instance, the discovery of an extensive ancient harbor beneath the Mediterranean Sea near the coast of Egypt, dating back over 2,500 years, demonstrates sophisticated maritime engineering. Similar underwater sites, like the submerged city of Dwarka off the coast of India, suggest that ancient cultures possessed considerable navigation and shipbuilding skills, allowing extensive oceanic travel and trade long before documented history. Archaeologists involved in these excavations emphasize the potential of such discoveries to rewrite our understanding of maritime history. Dr. Michael Peterson, an underwater archaeologist, notes, "Findings from submerged ruins strongly suggest that ancient mariners navigated far more widely and efficiently than we previously believed, potentially reaching distant and remote regions centuries earlier than historically documented." These underwater discoveries lend credibility to the idea that lost or unknown maritime civilizations may have charted distant coastlines, including potentially Antarctica, centuries before modern explorers ventured there. Climatic insights from Antarctic ice core studies. Another intriguing avenue of exploration involves recent insights derived from Antarctic ice core studies. Climate scientists drilling deep into Antarctica's ice sheets have uncovered evidence of historical periods when the continent's climate was relatively mild, with reduced sea ice coverage compared to modern conditions. These findings have significant implications, suggesting that certain historical periods, such as during the medieval warm period, approximately 900–1300 AD, may have provided rare but viable windows for maritime exploration closer to Antarctica's shores. Ice core records clearly show fluctuations in global temperatures and sea ice extent over thousands of years. Researchers point to evidence from ice cores indicating substantially milder Antarctic conditions around the 1st millennium AD. Dr. Rachel Anderson, a glaciologist involved in Antarctic climate research, explains, ice core analysis clearly reveals times when sea ice extent around Antarctica decreased considerably, potentially allowing vessels to navigate further south than previously thought feasible. Though intriguing, these findings alone do not confirm human exploration. Still, they open the door to reconsidering the plausibility of ancient mariners reaching Antarctic waters during historically favorable climatic periods. Other mysterious ancient maps. The Piri Reis Map isn't alone in presenting mysteries that challenge conventional history. Several other ancient maps from roughly the same historical period exhibit perplexing geographical accuracy or mysterious features. The Orontius Phineas map, created in 1531, is perhaps the most famous among them. This map also appears to depict Antarctica, showing river systems and valleys remarkably similar to features beneath the continent's ice sheet, as revealed by modern satellite radar imagery. Similarly, Gerardus Mercator's world map, produced in 1569, showcases extraordinary precision in mapping coastlines and continents, despite predating advanced navigational equipment. Mercator's innovative grid system anticipated modern cartographic methods, and some researchers argue his maps contain information suggesting access to lost or advanced sources. Historian Charles Hapgood extensively studied these maps and suggested they drew on ancient, sophisticated source maps dating back thousands of years, now lost to history. Hapgood stated clearly in his landmark work, Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings, these ancient maps, including Orontius Phineas and Piri Reis, strongly suggest the existence of a globally interconnected ancient maritime civilization, capable of precise geographical knowledge far exceeding what historians traditionally recognize. Cross-referencing ancient logs and historical documents. Recent scholarly efforts have also focused heavily on re-examining and cross-referencing ancient travel logs and historical documents. Newly decoded records from explorers, particularly from medieval Arabic and Chinese sources, indicate far more extensive geographical knowledge and global maritime contact than previously thought. Notably, recently decoded Arabic texts detail extensive maritime routes traversing the Indian Ocean, Atlantic, and possibly reaching areas far beyond historically accepted boundaries. Similarly, Chinese maritime logs from Admiral Zheng's fleet hint at ambitious voyages reaching far-flung regions, possibly even towards uncharted southern waters. These documents add credibility to theories proposing extensive ancient maritime exploration, fueling the possibility that knowledge from such voyages eventually found its way into maps like the one produced by Piri Reis. Dr. Aisha al-Farizi, a historian specializing in medieval Arabic maritime history, emphasizes the significance of these newly interpreted documents. Our recent translations indicate extensive Arabic maritime voyages reaching considerably further than previously documented. Such records, long overlooked, demand a reconsideration of global maritime exploration narratives. Recent research on ancient navigation technology. Additionally, recent studies on ancient navigation technologies have provided compelling insights into how early civilizations could have achieved remarkably precise navigation. Research published within the last decade has uncovered sophisticated ancient navigational instruments, including remarkably accurate astrolabes, early compasses, and detailed star charts used by mariners centuries before European expeditions dominated the oceans. A landmark 2020 study conducted by researchers at the University of Oxford revealed the accuracy and sophistication of ancient astrolabes, proving early navigators had far greater precision in latitude determination than previously assumed. Professor Eleanor Briggs, lead researcher on the study, stated, "Our findings conclusively demonstrate that medieval navigators had access to remarkably precise instruments, enabling voyages much further afield than traditionally acknowledged." This evidence strongly supports the feasibility that ancient mariners could have accurately charted distant coastlines, potentially even regions as remote as Antarctica, far earlier than historical accounts have traditionally recognized. Conclusion: an ongoing quest for answers to these alternative explanations and recent discoveries continue to reshape the historical context surrounding the Piri Reis Map. The existence of submerged ruins pointing to advanced maritime cultures, climatic data suggesting periods favorable for Antarctic voyages, mysterious ancient maps indicating extensive global knowledge, newly translated historical documents revealing expansive maritime exploration, and evidence of sophisticated ancient navigation technology, all collectively indicate that conventional historical timelines may indeed underestimate ancient maritime achievements. Though no single discovery conclusively proves that ancient explorers definitively charted Antarctica centuries before officially documented, the accumulating body of evidence challenges conventional historical views and keeps open the intriguing possibility that our ancestors possessed far greater maritime capabilities than we have traditionally credited. In our final section, we will explore why this historical mystery still matters profoundly today and reflect upon how understanding our maritime past can offer valuable insights into humanity's ongoing quest for knowledge and exploration. Stay with us, as our journey into this captivating historical enigma draws to a close. Controversial insights and why this matters today. What if ancient mariners actually reached Antarctica? Imagine for a moment the profound implications if ancient mariners genuinely navigated to Antarctica centuries before modern explorers. Such a discovery would not only rewrite our historical textbooks but dramatically shift our perception of human achievement and capability. It would challenge the widely accepted narrative that humans ventured into certain regions only recently, highlighting a far richer, more interconnected past than previously imagined. If mariners from ancient civilizations indeed mapped Antarctica accurately, it would suggest our ancestors possessed sophisticated maritime knowledge, advanced navigational skills, and potentially even technologies far exceeding our current historical understanding. This possibility implies forgotten chapters in human history, perhaps involving global maritime civilizations that thrived long before traditionally acknowledged timelines. Such insights could profoundly alter our perceptions about ancient societies, their technological capabilities, and their cultural sophistication. Revisiting our understanding of human exploration and the significance of confirming ancient Antarctic exploration extends well beyond mere historical curiosity. It could redefine the boundaries of human achievement. Today's narrative places limits on what we believe ancient humans could accomplish. Changing these assumptions could encourage a deeper respect for the ingenuity, courage, and ambition of past civilizations. It might inspire renewed exploration into other mysteries, opening doors to deeper understanding of humanity's collective history and cultural interactions. Recognizing that humans may have traveled extensively across the globe far earlier than acknowledged would also foster greater appreciation of ancient civilizations often dismissed as less advanced. It would affirm the intelligence, creativity, and resilience of these societies, underscoring humanity's universal capacity for exploration and discovery throughout history. Why scholars remain divided. Despite intriguing evidence, the academic community remains deeply divided on the validity of ancient Antarctic exploration. Mainstream historians emphasize the importance of definitive archaeological and historical evidence, cautioning against revising historical narratives without concrete proof. Scholars argue passionately about maintaining rigorous standards of evidence, fearing that premature acceptance of speculative theories could undermine academic credibility and public trust. On the other hand, proponents of the Antarctic theory argue that strict adherence to traditional historical narratives can stifle intellectual curiosity and hinder genuine scientific inquiry. They advocate openness to alternative theories, urging historians and researchers to reconsider established timelines in the face of compelling anomalies like the Piri Reis Map. This ongoing debate highlights a fundamental tension within historical scholarship, balancing rigorous scientific skepticism against open-minded inquiry. Ethical implications of rewriting history. Finally, considering these controversial theories invites important ethical considerations. Rewriting history, especially based on speculative or incomplete evidence, must be approached carefully, as historical narratives significantly shape our cultural identities and understanding of human development. Altering established history requires responsibility and sensitivity to the broader implications, including how it affects cultural heritage, identity, and public perception. Dr. Amelia Carter, an historian specializing in historical ethics, explains, historical narratives deeply influence society's values, identity, and worldview. Any changes to these narratives carry profound ethical responsibilities, requiring scholars to balance curiosity with caution, ensuring claims are evidence-based and ethically communicated. In essence, the enduring mystery of the Piri Reis Map matters profoundly today because it challenges not only our understanding of history but also how we approach knowledge itself. As we move toward concluding our exploration, we invite you to reflect on what these controversial insights reveal, not only about our ancestors, but about ourselves and our relentless pursuit of truth. Throughout our journey into the fascinating enigma of the Piri Reis Map, we've explored compelling evidence, intriguing theories, and significant controversies. We've examined its astonishingly accurate depictions of distant coastlines, considered provocative theories involving lost civilizations, and evaluated claims of ancient Antarctic exploration. Scientific analyses have authenticated the map's age and accuracy, while rigorous scholarly debate has presented convincing counterarguments, attributing perceived anomalies to misunderstandings or distortions. While mainstream historians remain cautious, preferring natural explanations involving South America's coastlines. Recent discoveries, from underwater archaeological sites to climatic data, leave open tantalizing possibilities. Ancient mariners' capabilities were undoubtedly impressive, yet definitive evidence proving Antarctic voyages remains elusive. Now, having reviewed the strongest arguments on both sides, the ultimate decision rests with you. What do you believe after examining all the evidence presented? Could ancient explorers have genuinely reached Antarctica centuries before modern historians claim, or is this merely a captivating misunderstanding amplified by speculation? We encourage you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Engage in further discussion and explore this historical puzzle alongside fellow curious minds. Your insights could shed new light on this enduring mystery. If you've enjoyed exploring this historical enigma, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating explorations into history's greatest mysteries. Your support helps us uncover more hidden truths, challenge accepted narratives, and inspire